those horrible recruiters.
Oh, yeah.
They never get back to me.
Oh, yeah.
I get ghosted.
Yeah.
I apply for a job. I don't hear whatever, right? What's up with that? How do you build relationships? And you spent many years in, as you just told us, talent acquisition and
Yeah.
recruiting,
Yeah.
right? What was your approach? But what advice would you have for young people today who are not big fans of recruiters?
Yeah. Well, look, there's some great like with every profession, you've got some outstanding recruiters and you've got some just okay recruiters. Look, I think technology plays a role. In the time that I ran acquisition in a few organizations, the recruitment technologies were advancing.
Yeah.
And now I'd imagine you might get an AI response when you send in a resume.
If you
And you're
do.
not even getting, and look, in the organizations I worked for, I think we tried. Like we customized, rejection letters. We tried to be kind, but you get so many people applying. And to be honest with you, a lot of people just apply to apply. They're not even, their background isn't even relevant. And recruiters can get very frustrated with that.
Right.
So if you're in the seat of the recruiter, that recruiter might have to go through thousands of resumes. And I would imagine, again, depending on the systems they have, they might be able to pull the best ones based on word searches, right, which is important.
Today, using
Yeah,
algorithms.
using
right?
algorithms.
tracking.
And LinkedIn uses that too. But
course.
look, I think there is no excuse for a recruiter not to get back to somebody. And I say that having been a recruiter on the ground for many, many years before technology took over, but there's no excuse. And here's where there's no excuse. When you just send in a resume blindly, you're going to get an automatic response. Don't take it personally, but don't make that how you search for your job, because it could be very frustrating. When you've had an interview with a recruiter, and I would say this is true both in executive search and corporate recruiters, I find it amazing that after you've actually met with a recruiter,
Yeah.
you never hear back from them. That is
Does that happen to
inexcusable.
anybody, right? Sometimes it happens.
That is
right?
inexcusable. It is
Yeah.
rude. It is
How
unprofessional.
does that even happen?
It happens, though, and in fact, it happens to executives too. In fact, when I was looking for a talent acquisition lead job, it was after I left Citibank. I had recruiters do that to me, and I was going to be running talent acquisition somewhere.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. So either they're overwhelmed, or honestly, they're just not that communicative as people. And it doesn't mean that all recruiters are that way. You've got some wonderful recruiters that really
right.
like a personal touch, and that would go for executive search professionals too.